Well, well, well. This is all fine. Good morning, everybody. I wanted to go ahead and go live. It's Let's Paint and Draw Along, the pop-up session, our pop-up session for today. My name is Nadine O, and I am looking to see if everything is working out okay. Good morning, everybody. I wanted to go ahead and go live. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I just wanted to check and make sure because I was having some issues with my streaming device. So I'm happy to see that we are live on Facebook. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm here with Don Stephens. He's getting his coffee together. Today, look around and see if you have any drawing paper, any drawing pencils. Don't be shy. Just pull them out. We're going to have a little bit of fun today. A little bit of fun. Hopefully, it's a lot of fun. So we have pretty much everything set up. I wanted to know, how are you doing today?
Greetings, everybody. What's going on? I'm back. Let's save Nadine. You know what I mean? Hey, Nadine, sometimes when we have situations like that, just talk about the supplies. Like what supplies you're going to need, like the paper. It can be like how would you say, the ledger paper from a printer and things like this. You can also have your number 2 pencil. Or if you're looking at the board where I'm at, trying to figure out if I'm writing upside down or not, you can have your charcoal pencil of the pick and peel variety that we have there. You see, that's the pick and peel pencil. Normally it's black, but the outside casing fell off because the stringing fell out. So depending upon where you get it from, it could be a cheap endeavor. It's okay. You can have regular charcoal pencils. I have the Wolf carbon pencils out today. You can have a tortillon if you want, or just a piece of paper towel, like how we normally do. You see, these are some of the basic ideas of the basic materials that we're going to be using anyway on a basic level. Then you have your eraser, so you can have your kneaded eraser, everybody, or you can have your regular plastic eraser, or the other one we introduced last week was the thin piece, the dowel eraser, where you can do smaller erasings in smaller areas, or you can get an eraser pencil. Your charcoals, these are the ones that I'm using. Is that reading upside down, Nadine?
Yes, it is. Can you just
I know, I already know.
Okay.
I already know. Just let's just roll. I have to press these buttons over here on this app. And it might be something on your end, so I might have to look at it that way, see if you can flip my screen that way. But if not, I have to do something else then. All right. So yeah, here we go, everybody. That's the pastels you can use. There's Sargent. You can find them at Michael's and Dick Blick, stuff like that. Target, Walmart. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be drawing again like we did last week. I'm going to have to turn it around every now and then. So that's the way we're going to work it today. Okay, everybody? So,
got it.
What do you want to draw? Where did our young lady go? She left us already?
She probably wanted to see if she had any supplies.
No, people make it too deep. All she had to do is just pick up a piece of paper and a pen and just get ready to go with us. That's the way you rock, everybody, honestly.
Yes.
You know, if you wanted basic supplies, everybody, you can get pens, pencils, things like this. You can get regular drawing pencils, you know, get a nice size pad, 11 by 14 or so on, you know, and then that'll be good enough and adequate for you to start drawing in any size and with anyone, anywhere. You see? So you just have a instead of everything.
Yeah, but Don, what if people, they want to learn how to draw, but they're afraid they can't draw?
Listen, Nadine, we've been through this already. If you can sign your name, you're good.
I know, but people don't think that is that
no,
big
you're
of a
taking it too
deal.
far now. I got to get rough on you now. Signing your name is good, and your initiative to be able to have the want to do is all you need to do. Perfection is a lie, repetition is the truth. That's your perfectionist mug stopping you from doing what you need to do.
Yeah, so I guess, after 50, some folks may struggle with that a little bit.
No, they don't struggle with it. What it is, they become very stubborn and they start believing what they want to believe rather than taking a suggestion. That's what's happening.
Okay. Miss Paulette, your mic is muted. You can unmute to tell us how you're doing today. Good morning, Miss Paulette.
Morning, Nadine and Don.
Good morning. How we doing?
Today we're working with pencil and paper.
Okay.
And we're working with charcoal today.
Well, if you had charcoal.
We're working with charcoal today. Do you have charcoal, Miss Paulette?
I don't have charcoal yet.
Okay, so you pull your pencils out.
I got my pencil.
All right, and make sure you have a soft one so you can be able to do some smudging and rubbing. Do you have that graphite stick?
Look, I'm just number 2 pencil. That's all, that's the one we had to use in elementary school. That's the only pencil that I've been using ever since. I mean, I don't even know. Well, I know about other grades of pencils, but
we talked about it, Miss Paulette. You don't worry, I got you covered too this morning. We talked about that during your other sessions. You was thinking about getting some of that graphite and stuff because you can go to the dollar store. So you got the watercolors and the hand painting or the finger painting paint rather than getting the drawing utensil. So I remember very well. I got one of those memories like a little elephant. So, next time what you can try to do is try to get some charcoal because you're going to need it.
Okay. Well, man, I this past week, I bought some new supplies, but at the Dollar Tree.
And what'd you buy?
I bought some new watercolor paint.
Thank you. You didn't buy no pencils, no charcoal, did you?
I didn't see any pencil and charcoal there, though. That's
they got that stuff there. You probably wasn't looking for it.
That's your assignment. That's your next assignment.
No, I'm not making an assignment. That's on you. I don't know what your economics is like. I don't know what your patience is like. I don't give assignments like that. I say you get it when you can.
Yes, get it when.
That's it. That's on you after that point.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna look for that, and I bought this some little contraption that holds your pencils and color pencils.
Yeah, that's great. But what you should have brought was the acrylic paint. That's what you should have brought. No, you brought more the coloring, the temper paint. That's not. We want you to get the acrylic paint.
I got all of that. So I always buy new stuff, But
you're not hearing me though, Miss Paulette. See, I know how to deal with the elder in the situation, the retiree. You want to tell me and want to be very efficient on what it is you had to do. Great. But did you do what you needed to do, which is buy that acrylic paint instead of buying what you felt you wanted?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, Don. I got the acrylic paint.
Right.
And I got 2 different types of water paint. And
now what you getting 2 different types of water? It's only one type of water paint, watercolor. Tempers after that, acrylic. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
All right.
Now you didn't need both of those packs. You just needed one or buy 2 of the other one. And that paint there, is that acrylic?
Yeah.
Does it say acrylic on there?
Yep.
All right. So then. All right, we're not using that today. Pull your pencils out. Let's get started. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yep. That's just something that human beings have to go through. You know what I mean? Honestly, everybody, just get those basic materials. You'll be better off. But I see I'm going to have to do a video for that too as well. So we'll do that video one day. Hey everybody, what's going on? What are we drawing today? What do you feel like drawing today? It's not like this is like an organized class here. Remember, this is a group draw along, so there is some democratics in the process. What's up, Nadine? Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, what's going on? What you feel like drawing today? What was exciting? Like last week we did the eye.
Yeah, last week, yes,
so
we did.
What do you feel like doing this week? Because if you don't make up your mind, I got a good one, a killer.
You do? You got a killer?
Well, then look, I'm just going to go there because you guys, you know what I mean? I don't know. Everybody wants everything formulated for them, and then they don't know why they can't get 2 cents.
I've been feeling cloud. Oh, see, yes.
This is where we're going. All right, so then we'll do a skull 3/4. Why not? Something like that. So let's go for it. You know I'm gonna start the drawing off on the board. So let's get that going so we can have some universal fun here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see me? Not yet, yeah. I'm not yet. But I'm trying to see the board now. So see the eraser board. Did you pin that eraser board up or no?
Getting ready to. Is that better? Is that better, Miss Paulette?
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
There we go, everybody. So let's put this square up there. I'm going to use the landscape again. So let's lay your paper on the side the long way. Okay, everyone. Hopefully I'm not too dark over here. I got both lights on the other situation. So we'll just make it go this way. All right, everybody. So now this is your piece of paper. You don't have to draw this square, rectangular square already. If you have, erase it, flip the paper over. You ain't got to do that. Find center of your page. This is the thing that always happens. So you can cross the corners to find out where center is. And then you have an idea where center is, and then you can mark it on your edges, always, everybody. If you can't do it visually, then try to do it tangibly by putting it on your page, marks on your page. Who was that new young lady, Nadine? What was her name?
Miss Cindy.
Miss Cindy, that's the stuff we do there with the page. So no matter what type of piece of paper that you got or what type of format you got or surface you're working on, we always try to find center. Miss Paulette knows that by now, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's look at it, everybody. If you wanted to start doing this skull, what I would do is I would have it go from this side here. So I would start with just showing the facial part first. So the frontal facial part, I make an oval like this on this side. See that, everybody?
Yes.
All right. Now, an easy way to do a 3/4 head, whether it be the skull or the full head with all the skin and all the nuts and bolts and dings and everything on it, you want to find out where that middle meridian is. Now, when somebody's facing you, your middle meridian is straight on the front. But when you're drawing it this way for the 3/4, you're trying to see where the nose is, because that's the middle meridian point. So with this one, we're trying to move it all the way to the side. That's why I will put that line right there. That's letting me know that's 3/4. That's letting me know it's 3/4 going to our right, which would be the left of the skull. Get the idea, everybody?
Yes.
All right, all right. Now, Ms. Paulette, at the end of this, you can probably pull out your watercolors and just use the black vessel and make it look like it's India ink. So I'll talk to you about that when we get going, when we start filling in and everything. Okay. All right. So now off the middle meridian, everybody, Nadine included, you want to roll that line straight back, make it a circle, and then bring it back halfway on that globe there. You see that, what I did, everybody?
Yep.
That sets up the idea that that's the back of the skull. You see that idea?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Everybody's cool. Remember the other thing too as well. When we put these guidelines in, everybody, we're not saying that this is the permanent place of it. We're saying this is where we're thinking about putting this idea. You see? So those circles are there for you to be able to, how we say, expand or condense them the way you need when you start drawing. Some of you have already started drawing. So, let's step it up. Now, the other thing is your eye orbit. You know what I mean? I don't want to beat you up with a lot of measurements and all this good stuff. But then let's look at this. You have your nasal idea that'll be right about here, right? And it'll go about halfway. So I'll take this and put this triangle there like a jack-o'-lantern. You see that? Notice I put it at where the bottom of the skull is. That's for a reason, because that's where the bottom of your ear is going to be, or where the ear orbit would be for the skull. So since the ear orbit would be there, you would have to, how would you say, get yourself ready to put it in there. Ready, everybody?
Yep, on it.
All right, now look, you have this one oval here, but I want to do the one that's over here first. So your eye orbit goes all the way around and hits down to the bottom where your how would you say, your nasal is as well. So now if you feel, it's not at the same point, your nasal is down lower, your eye orbit is a little bit higher than that point. You see? So if you felt on your face, you can feel it on your own that it's a little bit higher, comes out to the side there, and you have your triangulated movement. You see? Almost like a Spider-Man's mask or something. See that, everybody?
Yeah.
Now, the one that's on the inside here, we can makeshift, you know what I mean? Because we're going to have to look through the nose. Now, since we're not on that side, you see what I mean? That orbit would be like so. You see, but we're not going to leave that there. We have to take that out, remember, because the eyeball is not in there. You see, what's going to happen in here is now the nasal passage droops down because it has what we call a hood over the top of it. And then that hood would come forward, you see? And that's where the bridge of your nose would be, right there. So now if I erase that area out right over top of your nasal passage, see what happens? That's what we call the hood of the nose, everybody. All right. And then now in the middle, there's a piece of bone that's about that high that rolls into your nostril, goes inside. And then everything else would be the meat or the skin. But this is literally the middle of that bone there in the middle. Yeah, buddy. Take your time, everybody. Perfection is a lie. Repetition is the truth. Have a little fun, take a risk, look silly if you have to. You see, then we have where the cheekbone would come in from back here underneath here, because this is where the ear orbit would be on this side here. So don't worry, you know me, I'm going to show you the demonstration anyway. Like the cheekbone comes here and it comes around where what is? The temple is. So that bone, and now you have the cheekbone that'll come forward like this. You see that? Oh, yeah. You're going to get some learning today, everybody, because your upper jaw doesn't move. Your bottom jaw is the only thing that's animated. So then here, we come over here with the cheekbone over here, and now we got to watch how it comes out over here and then here. You see? Yep, I know that looks weird, but when you start filling it in, it's going to make sense. So then know that you still got to keep a nasal barrier there. But that cheekbone on the other side cuts right into there, everybody, you see? And no matter how it looks, even if it looks silly right now to you, you got to laugh at what you got on the paper and then make the best of it, because that's the experience. That's the journey, everybody. That's the fun of the journey, you see? Some of you might not think so. You might say, oh, Don, that's a crock of hogwash. And I'm like, no, Nadine, save me, you see? And then this is where this would go around the brow to go up to connect with the upper skull, you see? Now we have to show where, how would you say, your upper teeth would be. So then these teeth would come from here and then be round here, you see? And then it'll go up, well, it wouldn't be all the way out there. It would come up underneath here. So this is where your teeth would be, your upper jaw, and those teeth wrap it around to the back there and underneath. So then now I erase that line out underneath of that, because now we're going to put the jaw in for there. I'm still going to leave that middle line there, everybody. Have fun with it. So then now what happened is, if you look from where the ear orbit is, the jawline comes down, it's going to hit the ground, come this way, you see? Then it's going to lift up just a little bit where the chin is, because it's the skull. The chin comes forward. Then now you roll this part up, over, and then now we have it. There's the jawline right there. Because the other teeth are going to be from here and then come this way like so. You see? Notice how I just put the spaces in. Yeah. I know it looks like a helmet right now, but that's the way they get the design for the helmet and all that good stuff. Basic idea, the basic idea, the basic sketching. I'll put a line in the back to say like it's sitting on a table or something. Maybe even put your shadow in like so. Or no, yeah, because it'll be dark underneath here. So then I will put my shadow in here, and then a little bit off on the side here. And right off the page if you're real close to the edge there, you see? So then now I have that shadow line there, real loose. I can change it at my will if I want to. Or if you want to, you can change it at will. You see? So here comes the problematic issue now. Let's see how I want to do this. Well, it's just going to have to sit there like that. All right, Nadine, you can pin the other one now.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, buddy. And like I said, I'll just turn it around every now and then. I don't know why it's doing that. Shouldn't be doing that. That's what I was told. So it's something really with the app. Something's re-flipping something that it shouldn't flip.
Yeah.
But we'll make it happen. As long as you can see my hands, that's what's most important.
Mm-hmm.
To figure all
Most
that
definitely.
out. Yeah, you see that? Pretty good. You can see that pretty good.
Yes, I can. It's yeah.
Yeah, I just told you it's going to be upside down. Remember, we
Yes.
did the name thing here, and I have this facing me, and it's supposed to read the way it's supposed to, the way I have it flipped on the computer.
Okay.
But it's not doing that, you see? So I'm going to have to wind up doing this, turning it around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the bad part. So you have to figure out what the application is doing. That's why that's happening. All right, let's get started. So we have it on our landscape format, everybody. And when we start this puppy, let's see here. Let me make sure I'm pretty much centered for you guys. There we go. So now look, we find center as always. A lot of times I just go from sight. I know where it is in center. I can match it up with the camera. It's right about there. All right. So now we said we want the 3/4 view, right, everybody? So then first, what did I do? I put the that face in there, or the area where the face would be, where the facial features would be. You see? Now I can take the same idea and look, I can move this middle meridian around. You see? So then I'm showing that we're going to be looking through the eye socket over here, looking over the cheekbone at that point. You see? So then now off that middle meridian, once again, because this is the front of the forehead now. Now we're coming back and we try to imagine a circle pretty much the same size. But we bring this one back halfway, or at least halfway. You see, the best that you can. See that, everybody? How does that look on screen, Nadine?
Looks good.
All right, there we go. So then look, everybody, now, you know, the face is in parts. This is where I can break this down while I'm drawing. And then on the little regular one up there on the board was just to give you an idea. Now look at this. This will be the side of the face here. And then that would be the top of the forehead there, you see? So now we're starting to set up the idea. You see, the ear orbit would be right here off of where the bottom jaw would be. That's where the hinge or the socket for the jawbone would be. So then let's go back over here once again. Now, I can come this way, right? And say where the top of the eyes would be. And then I can come here to say where the bottom of my eyes would be, you see?
Mm-hmm.
But if you notice, we're going to be right around the area where the nostril is. So then let's get that together. Watch. Here's another idea for you guys to do to get the bridge of the nose together. We can swoop it down like so, because it sits down off of the head, everybody. And then now you would have your nasal passage like so. Now, if we're looking at it from 3/4, it's going to be like a triangular shape. You see that there?
Mhm.
Yeah, all right. So then now what happens is we can formulate the eye off this point. Now, if the skin was on the outside, we would have to show the bridge of the nose. Since the bridge of the nose or the skin is not there, we have to show the side of the skull and then that orbit that's going in, you see? So now I changed the shape up a little bit. If you look at the board, you can see how I changed that shape up just a little bit. Can you? No?
Think so.
All right. So now when we come around to the other side here, you want to keep the eye the same height as that other one there, you see? Then you want to angle it down to the side where it is here. Just before the side, you want to turn it. You see how we turned that to the side? And then now turn it back towards the head here and then go up. Triangulate movement. That'll be the eye orbit there, everybody. A real, very simple and basic way on how to get that in there. Then you can see where that cheekbone is here. So then look, I'm gonna draw that one in already and then swoop it down towards the nostrils. That's the way that cheekbone would look, because it pokes out off the side of your face. You see? Then we would have where the gums would be or where the upper part of your jawbone would be. Without the teeth now, that's what I try to do. I try to show it without the teeth at first, so I can just get the positioning together, you see, and then bring it back. So now notice how I have this line of the gum line aligned with coming around to where the nasal passage or the ear orbit is. Yeah, where your ear would be. Everybody's quiet today, boy. Watch out. You see, so then look, right on the side of the face, I can bring it back just a little bit. Right on the side of the face is where that bone would go. Why? Because it winds up being hitting by what? What I had said before, that cheekbone. So then watch, the cheekbone comes from where the eye or where the ear orbit is. The bottom of it cuts past where the back of the jaw is, right? Now we get some of the front of the cheek, and then now it smooths right down into the jawline down there. You see that?
Yeah, I think so.
Now we take this line here, and this goes up towards the side of the eye orbit. That's where your temple area is. So now we would put a line around there, not too thick, just thin enough. And then right over top of that, you have a line like so. You see that? Now at this point, if you got this going, you're pretty good. Let's turn it upside down so you can see. I don't like the way that's happening for you guys. You can't follow along. So that's not good that I'm doing it that way. I have to change this. Well, let's go about it the way that I normally do too. If I'm in a class situation, I can draw upside down. So then here we go, everybody, okay? So we go around the brow here, and then we go up to formulate where the forehead would be. We would have to come up and over just a little bit, you see? Because we want to put that soft spot on the top of the skull there. You see? That's how that starts to work, everybody. Take your time, everybody. I know, regroup yourself. Really look at it, because I know the camera was upside down. So, try your best. I'll switch up for you guys, okay? Let's see here where we at. That's better, right?
Yes.
Way better. Okay.
I'm just thinking about how we see these TV shows where you see the skull, you know, the skull and bones, when they find the body, the dead body, and there's no skin left. It's just the bones. And I'm imagining,
that's what happens. That's what they say on TV, but it wouldn't be that drastic. It would, you know what I mean? If you really saw it in person, you really would still see skin and stuff on it and things of that sort, because the bones will start breaking down at that point and turning back into dust to dust, as they say, right? Yeah. Take your time, everybody. I hear that frustration kicking in.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like thinking of images, you know, like how would I, if I were to take and add a little abstract aspect to it, thinking about what's going on in the Ukraine?
Let's roll back a little bit, because you have to understand how to draw the skull. You see, everybody wants to jump forward, but you don't want to look at this little bit of maintenance that we're saying for this very simple idea of drawing the skull. Sure, there is a lot of things that can happen with the metaphor of a skull, but it is really good for you to slow yourself down and try to draw it rather than worry about the abstract aspects at first, because you always can do the abstract aspect. You know, well, you know, that's up to you. I'll leave it like that. I hear the voice. You know what I mean? So, you know.
No, my mind was just going.
I know, but all I can do is just give you the advice, and then, you know, you let people do what they do. You know what I mean? So then now, look, you just roll this up here. It starts to give us an idea of where the brow is, you see? All right, now those teeth are in there. The jawline, you would start from back here and let that come down and hit the table, right? Then it'll come across like so, still hitting the table, coming down. Then the jaw rips around, you know, it rips around to the front now. You see that? And now when you get to the side here, it's going to come up like so. Because remember, there's no skin there. You see, there's no skin. We're just doing the bone of the skull. That's it. You know? Oh boy. We'll get that together another time. All right. Yep. So now what happens is now we can show the underneath of the skull here, everybody. Some people are probably, I would just say, bailed out on us. Everybody bailed out on us? Who's still with us?
Miss Paulette, she's hanging in.
All right. All right. How's your skull coming out, Miss Paulette?
It's coming along good. Well, I guess I might need to more like show you.
Don't worry about it. Just keep working for right now. Let's put the rows of teeth in now. You see where the teeth are going to be, because we got to roll off the middle here. So that middle meridian is here. I want to bow it out like so, because your teeth comes out forward. You see? So with that being said, you have middle teeth. All your teeth are aligned pretty much off that middle. So you have two there in the middle, and then these teeth on the right side, they have to go smaller, you see, in a way, because they're wrapping around the side of the head, you see? So then now as we come back this way, now you have what? You have one more tooth that's here, because 4 teeth, if you want to know, you have 4 teeth that align with your nasal passage. You see in the front there, you see that? So we have 3 that's showing us, 2 that's showing us abroad. And as soon as we hit the middle point, that's when they start to get smaller or thinner going around the side. So you're only going to see about 2 teeth on the side. Now that's where people start having their own adaptations. They'll make the teeth come out the side like this is like a human, you know, hybrid mutant or something. You see what I mean? Or some type of gargoyle at that point. But we want to keep them human, you know what I mean? So that's why I was saying that to you, Nadine. All right?
Got it.
All right. Now look, now the other teeth that comes in, look, we got these 3 here that's showing. This is the middle meridian here, everybody. So that's 1, 2. Then how many more we got there? Yeah, we got 4 more. We got 4 more over here. So then we got, and now they get wider because now it's coming towards you. 3, and then 4. You see that? I'm just getting the spaces together. Now, when you count that, now you have about 2 more. So then look, we got from the front, we got from that side, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe 7 of them or 8 when we get back to the molar, you see? And now you have that back tooth that anchors and keeps everything on the jawline solid, you see? That's that molar. So then now you can come in and really fix up that whole movement. The triangle motion goes up into the root of the bone underneath the nasal passage. So that's why I'm doing that mark on top. That shows that the root, where the bone is coming from on the root of the tooth. It comes from the bone itself, from the upper jaw. Happens with the lower jaw too as well, but we just want to show that idea. So see what I did? I did the tooth first, then I came back and did the top where the root goes into the skull. And you see how if you start looking at it, even mine's on the board now, it's really starting to come to life. You see that? Now, how about you young ladies? Are y'all coming to life?
Coming to life. Coming to life.
Yeah, come on, let's show it. Come on, come on.
You want to see it?
Yeah, you got to see it. Come on now. Why else we here before I give up the other secrets? Yeah, but you see, we can't see no light. You can't, what, you on your laptop or something, or you on your iPad or your tablet?
Me. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm
yeah,
on the.
What I was going to say was lay it down and then pick your device up and then show us based upon you looking down on your device. There you go. That's better so we can have light. There you go. Much better. Yeah, you got it. Whoa. Well, that was brief, but we got it. So you got to look up it and it's okay. All right. So now you're looking good. Let's just take your time putting in some of these other things here. Like, let's get this cheekbone together so where it goes in and it does this. You see that? This is where the cheekbone will connect around where the nasal passage is. So if you feel on your own face, you can feel where these bones are. When it comes to male and female, not too many differences of the skeletal system of the head or the skull, except for one may have a thinner jaw than the other, but then that doesn't hold true all the time either. So that's why I try to bring that type of stuff up, everybody. Yeah, on the mix. All right, so then now look, we got to fuse and use our paper towel now. This is what's gonna make it fun. So now look, if I have my paper towel, I'll fold it into like this quasi-triangular shape. So then this way I can put it in my hand like so. You see what I'm doing, everybody? And I can crumble that up, fold this in, and now I have a nice looking device just to smudge to get in close with. So now I can start, if you have the soft charcoal like how I have, you can start smudging in areas with the charcoal that's there to say where certain darknesses would go. So I start out smudging where the eyes would be in dark. You see, the nasal passage would be in dark. You see, Colleen and Paulette, you guys can still do this type of work with the regular pencil. You would just have to hold the pencil on its side to expose more of the lead, you see, or more of the material. And then use that broad tip, and then you still can smudge with the paper towel. If that becomes hard, what you can do is you get another piece of paper, you rub the pencil on that piece of paper, then you take your chalk or take your paper towel and rub it in there. And then now you can take that device and spread the graphite along the page there, you see. Where are some other areas where some dark? You got it, Miss Paulette? You did it?
I know you can do that with a pencil, you know.
Yeah, that's why I have to be patient a lot of times and sit back and just be repetitive in my speech pattern and just say it again and again and again. And ultimately it just checks, it sticks to somebody. Ain't that right, Nadine?
Absolutely.
There it is. All right, look, now let's get this lower jaw in. So you know everybody has a natural overbite, right? You sure about that? Does everybody understand that? Because another situation I did, everybody wanted to argue, and I said, well, who has an underbite like a dog?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? That all human beings have an overbite. If you didn't, your doctor would love you because he would make his beach home off of your plan alone.
They try to give you braces because they try to fix it.
No, they give you braces because of your narcissism. Because nobody's teeth line or jawline is that perfect. Never. And it's not supposed to be. If you really check into it, it's not supposed to be. That's more so cosmetic. Now, are some people, their teeth situation is real horrific to where they do need alignment and straightening out of the growth of the teeth coming in? Yes. But no, not everybody. Because not everybody's jaw is supposed to be perfect. The teeth is perfectly, no, you can check back and you can see, So then look, we have the lower teeth. They're smaller, but they function with the same number of motions or the same number. So then look, you have the one tooth here. Notice how I'm starting with the front two teeth and it goes underneath here. Now, all the rest of them would swoop back and I'm not even seeing anything on that side. You see? I'll see a little bit on the edge like so, and then now you'll see the gum line, you see? So now that I have those four there, it's going to seem like it's more teeth on the side of this head. Watch. One more here. And they're all smaller. They go up underneath now. And they do angle forward. So your teeth bow out of your mouth. They don't just stand straight, like your teeth don't do this, stand straight up and down. They bow out of your mouth like this. And then your lower jaw goes underneath of the top jaw. That's the way the tooth comes out. Now you can feel this on yourself. So all you have to do is look in the mirror, open and close your mouth, because if you open and close your mouth, if they were aligned perfectly over top of one another, they would shatter and break. And that's where I'm saying your dentist would love you even more, because he's going to make a beach home off of your insurance plan. Okay. So then, if we understand that, now we can do more of that underneath here. So now we have the other tooth that's here, right? Then we have one more that's here, right? Underneath of these now. See what I'm doing? See how as soon as I put that line over top, it made us believe that upper jaw is over top of that bottom jaw. You just don't have no other choice but to see it that way. You know what I mean? If it's any other way, you're dealing with a mutant then, and I don't know what to tell you at that point. You know what I mean? Don't know what to tell you. Now, what you can look for is that those molars in the back, they align. You see? They align. They align here, you see? And this is where some of the shifting happens, you know what I mean? And now you have one more tooth there, and then look, you have the same measurements, and then they align on top of each other in the back. That's why they say we like cows, moo. We grind our food into a curd. That's where the back teeth are for. That's why they're more aligned with being up underneath of the lower jaw. I mean, the top jaw, because you have to have that round motion, that grinding motion. That's what does it to break up your food. You see? So now this whole area right here is all the back of the jaw. And that will go up into, you see? So then now look, this area here, just like I did for the eye socket, this area here will be dark. You see, that's where your dimple is and everything. When you talk about you got dimples and, you push your finger in the side of your face, you can feel that area where it's the back of your molar. Yep. And it's in between the back of your molar and the front of the muscle on the bottom jaw, the lower jaw. That hole is there. And that's mainly where the dimple is there, if you have dimples and stuff like that. You see? Now I can get into this area here and do more of an angle. Like I know you guys are not looking at a skull, but you're following along with me. So that's why I had to change that around. I couldn't keep it that way, like how he was, because that would really confuse everybody. And then everybody be looking at me like, this guy thinks he's something else just because he can do it upside down. I know that's what y'all be thinking.
No, you funny.
Y'all be like, oh, think Don think he's gonna outdo us today. You know what I mean? Then look, then we can expand the jaw just a little bit. Notice what happens when I do that. It makes us believe that that jaw is really there. Now look, this rounds in the front and then dips in. That's the way that jawbone does because it's stretching. I mean, that's where you can look at it as they got that funny looking on the Joker and everything else, or some of the characters on Batman. You see, that's the area they would play with. Mm-hmm. You see, so then now if we say the light is coming this way, now we can start smudging this puppy. You see, in these areas now to show where some of the darknesses would be. Look at that. Yeah, I would smudge in the front here and here, like so, because you're going to come back with that eraser and erase out your highlights, you see. For the teeth on the bottom, it would be a little bit, you know, in the back, a little bit darker here. So I would smudge just a little bit in the back. You know, smudge just a little bit here, smudge here. You see how I'm just tapping it? Mm-hmm. If you have the soft pastel, you can do it like that. Miss Paulette and Colleen, what was your name again? Cindy. Oh, all right, Cindy. Sorry about that. Cindy, you would be able to do the same thing with Miss Colleen, like how she's doing. You would have to take the pencil. Let me get another pencil, see if I can show you guys that. That's closer to a pencil. Because Miss Paulette, you got it, right? You see how the point is, everybody? And we like to draw like this. Mm-hmm. So now what I'm saying is you turn that pencil to the side here and you hold it like this. And then now you can drop it down and see how I have the side of the pencil down to the page. Mm-hmm. Then this is where you can come in and start, you see, blending or putting in heavier charcoal in there. You see what I'm doing now? Just by folding it and using it on the side. So just by holding it in a different way or uncommon way, I'm able to make more things come off, you see? Mm-hmm. So then you just use that idea, you know, because the bone goes right around. This is why you get headaches and everything when you get a toothache and all this good stuff, because your jawline, the teeth, and your ear orbit are all in alignment with where those veins go through and those nerve endings go through. Mm-hmm. You see, so right now y'all probably not worried about that because you're like, no, Don, I'm trying to make this look like a skull, not a jack-o'-lantern. Yeah. Right, so then look, I smudge a little bit back here underneath that cheekbone, you see? Mm-hmm. And I smudge alongside of the temple here. And now this is where I start smudging in that curve motion now, you see? I put that little bit of charcoal in there. I use that curve motion now. You see that? Because now all of this area goes in. After the temple comes up, it connects to the top of the skull. You see? Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's looking scary, Nadine. I don't know. You know what I mean? You're thinking about putting all this stuff with the skull. Yeah. There we go. Now look, I tap this way to show how the bone is. And now the reason why I'm tapping it like that, because I'm trying to use the way that the charcoal is being dispersed to help show the texture of the bone, mm-hmm. or to allude towards the texture of the bone, you see? Mm-hmm. And when you smudge like that, it gives you a nice distortion because you can come back and develop it. Notice, I'm not saying that's it when we do this type of smudging. We're getting this started to say where the darks would be. You see, notice how I'm working around where I'm saying a light area would be. Mm-hmm. You see, if I'm saying the light is coming down this way, then in some of these areas, like there'll be a slight gray in here in this area to show that the bone is going in. Same thing with underneath here, because that would be the underneath of the cheekbone on that side, you see? Mm-hmm. So it would have to be dark because it's going away. Mm-hmm. Will we bring back a little bit of light and erase some of light in here and put some darkness in? Yes. Not yet, though. Notice what we're doing. We're working in what we call the middle tone idea. Now, this helps you with painting, too, as well. That's why I decided to come back to charcoal with everybody, so we can explain some of these things and why you have to have patience with yourself. So perfection is a lie. Don't even worry about it. If it looks like a jack-o'-lantern, at least it's a type of skull, right? Right. Mm-hmm. Let's go, everybody. Right. You see, I'm not going to talk about all these measurements just yet, because the measurements come in better when you have the skin on the face, to be quite honest with you. So if I start talking about eye measurements and all of that, just to give you some other ideas, it might make you more confused without having the skin there and just looking at the skeleton. Just know that things have a certain alignment, and this eye orbit is the measurement pretty much, because your eye orbit, your eyeball, pretty much the same size. All right, your nasal, your nose, and your nasal and all of that, and the ball of your nose is about the same width as your eye. So we'll do some more things, like next week we'll probably do a portrait. And then I'll get you guys to do your own portrait of yourself by looking in the mirror at home. Don't worry, I'll pull out a mirror here and do the same thing here. But you notice, if you look at the camera, or you look at the screen where I'm doing this, notice how I'm putting everything, you know, pretty much in a smudged category. Right. But I'm not trying to smudge it to distort it to where I can't see what it is. But you notice, see how things are starting to move around and starting to dip in and out and things like this? Yes. You're going to come back and start developing some of that. You see, like in here, this is where the brow is. So I would do a backwards movement like this to do that curve. Upside down, backwards C. You see that motion that I'm doing? I'll keep doing it. Everybody, you guys, you see it? Yes. I'll move the hand out the way, you see? So that movement is like this. Okay, if you're left-handed, you're going to have to come in, and then it's the other way then, you see, if you're left-handed. So I'm ambidextrous, everybody. I pretty much train myself to be that way. Every human being can do it. It just takes some time, okay? So you're left-handed. If you're left-handed, a lot of times people cock it and move it. See how I move the board a little bit? And then if you're left-handed, that's what people do a lot of times, to be able to get their hand to work, to move, you see? Whereas us right-handed people, we have pretty much carte blanche, yeah, as they say, because everything is made for a right-handed person. We don't have to go into those social reasons on why that's happening. You know what I mean? That's Nadine wanting to take the skull and start talking about, you know, not Kosovo, but the Ukraine and everything else. Like, whoa, you ain't gonna get me taken down, Nadine. Let me stop.
I'm just saying, it just got my mind going.
No, yeah, well, that's another reason why I did it too, because then everybody thinks the skull is just representing death, but it also represents life too as well. The beginnings, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we don't want to go too far in there. You know how some people, well, how do you know that's true? It's like, oh, well, it's a philosophy that's out there, but you know, you'll see. And that's when people start saying, well, I see things differently. Really not. But then that's what happens. Human beings start to battle. Consonance dissonance starts to kick in.
Yeah. But that's part of being human.
Oh, yeah, you got to do it.
We can't all think the same way.
No, we all think the same way. We just can't perceive it.
Perceive it the same way.
Yeah, and then we can't regurgitate it the same way. Meaning that we can't create it the same. Like, no matter how many times we do this skull, and I can have everybody looking at the same skull, like how I do in my other classes in person, everybody's looking and we can see that that's the skull that we're all following. But then when you go to regurgitation or recreation, you'll see that that's where the differences come in. Because it's based upon that person's experiences as far as life is concerned. Where have they been? What have they done? How many times have they even looked at things like this? Right. You see, so that's what we discount, you know what I mean, when we're looking at this idea of if somebody can draw, if they can't draw, you know what I mean? That has nothing to do with it. It's the regurgitation that's different. Yeah, because if you all look at the same skull, you all say, yep, that's a skull. But then when it comes to your page, you go, oh, well, it's Neanderthal man. You see, it starts to change up on me, which is okay. My thing is perfection is a lie. How many times have you done this? How many times have you really taken into consideration to look at your skeletal system?
So I'm glad if perfection is a lie.
There it is, Miss Paulette. That's what we're talking about. And I love the way you be laughing at some of your creations, boy. You give me that laugh. Ha ha! Yeah.
In the moment.
Yep, that's what I mean. That's what the experience is about. It's not all about trying to say, oh, I'm perfect and I can do everything. Sometimes it's about the journey. You know what I mean? What did I do to get to this part of the journey? Now look, you see? So now after where I'm at now, you done smudged everything in. You see where some of the lighter areas are. You got your teeth in there. That middle meridian, we can, because what's going to happen is now if you have your kneaded eraser, you can come back and form your eraser any size you want. But before I do that, hold on a second, everybody. Let's get a charcoal stick. Miss Paulette, for you, this is where it's going to change. And for our other young lady that just has the pencil, this is where this changes for you two guys and anybody else that just has a pencil. Because I'm pulling out the charcoal stick now. Now, if you have the graphite sticks, like how I suggested some people get, if you ever had a chance to get it, it's just like this, except for it's a silver piece. It looks like a piece of silver almost. And that's the graphite. So you can have the graphite stick and the charcoal stick. The reason why I suggest people get these is watch what happens. If I can show, like I want to make this seem like it's sitting on a round stool. So I'm going to put a circle here, like so, you see? See what I'm doing? And I'm going to make it seem like it's a round stool that it's on. You see that? So try to do that if you can, if you have any type of space there. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. You see what's happening? Yeah. So now look, if the light's coming this way, right, I would want a lot more darkness back here. So then now I come in with that charcoal stick, you see, and I fill in right to the edge of the skull, no halos. Even with your pencil, Miss Paulette, and our other young lady, you want to turn it on the side and you want to get right up in there like this. And then take your time and make a flat area, a flat tone with your pencil like so. That goes right around that edge, you see? And then now you would fill in backwards, Miss Paulette, you see? And then the smudging would help you the same way. Now you can come in there with your paper towel like how you did before. And then now you can smudge that area, smooth it out, flatten it out for us so we can see around that edge. But you want to take it right to the edge of the skull and then out your page, straight up and down. You see, I use the straight up and down motion because that's going to make us feel like it's a background more. You see that?
Yeah.
You see what's happening now? See how the skull wants to jump out of the surface now when I did that?
Yeah.
Oh, Nadine, I think these videos is going to be something else, huh?
Yeah.
Watch out. I should have recorded this one myself, Nadine. So then look, we can do this here. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do, Nadine?
What's that?
I know with OBS, I can come in here now and just.
You can record, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I can record from here. So I'm just going to record where we're at from this point here, right here.
Okay.
It may mess with my video or my sound quality, but I'll take that because I want the video, the skeleton. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, buddy. So then now.
What time is it now?
Oh, it's only 11:06.
Oh, yeah. The reason why I said that, because I could go to 11:06 on the video I'm recording. That's what I mean.
No, you need yours. Yeah. Well, we got a lot of dead space in the beginning. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Don being, Mr. Movie Star, having to use the bathroom and get his coffee together.
Yeah. Hey, nature calls. Nature calls.
Yeah, Mr. Prima Donna himself, huh, Nadine, right? I heard you, Nadine, in the background. Yeah, I got Don, the Prima Donna. He wants to just come when he wants to.
No.
We'll do what we need to do, everybody. So just get a little bit of paper and I'm just teasing you, Nadine.
No, I ain't like that.
Yeah, I know. We're a cool combination when it comes to this internet thing right now. Yeah. So we're going to keep on rocking like Scottie Pippen
keeping on.
And Jordan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So you see the charcoal here, how I did it on the other side. So now you would come back and you would do the same thing over there and you would smudge straight to the edge. So there's no halo. So it looks like your skull is really overlapping whatever background atmosphere that you've made for us to believe that it's in.
Mhm.
You see, and look how I'm just going right to the halo area. And then now I'm smudging. You see, smudging that using the vertical movement, everybody. You see?
Mhm.
Yeah. Because now, look, you can come back with your eraser and everything too. So that's another thing that everybody doesn't pay attention to is that you're going to be using your eraser for real good reasoning now, you know? Uh-oh, I'm moving too far over. Let me slide back a little bit. That's better? Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking away. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I got to get this positioning better. You know, we like to do the impulsive thing over here, everybody. So then now, look, to make this even feel rounder, now I'm going to just lightly put light round strokes or movements in here. And notice how that starts that feeling of possibly whatever the grain of this wood may be, or even if it's wood, I don't know. But I want you to feel like that's the surface that it's sitting on. So you want to use left to right motions on the tabletop. You see everybody, whether it be diagonal, whatever the case may be, elliptical, left to right motions, left to right motions. That's going to make it seem like it's flatter than what it is. You see, can we make more drama? Yeah, we'll make more drama as we go. But notice how now that skull seems nice and round and everything. I can put some movement here on the back of the skull here, and that's going to give us an idea that that's the side of the skull going in. You see? Yeah, and then now on the top, we can get rid of that, but we want to have this movement feel like it's running round to the front of the skull. You see? Yeah. So then now what we can do is we can come back and we can reformulate. Oh, where's my other charcoal pencil at? Where's that? There it is. Okay, that's the pick and peel variety. I like that pick and peel pencil. Everybody, if you ever want a cool pencil, get a pick and peel pencil. They come in hard, soft, and medium. I like the soft ones and the medium ones. The medium ones and the soft ones are real good. The hard ones are good too, depending upon the surface that you're on. But I really enjoy the medium and the soft ones. The medium ones, for me, they're real good for drawing, and the soft ones for putting in your nice, luscious darks and stuff where you may need them. You see? So then, look, let's go in here and show where some of the darks. Now, remember that bone that I said that was in the middle here?
Yes.
Yeah, and then now we come here, and now we can start formulating the edges of the bones of the opening, you see? Because that bone is there. So a lot of times I come back and reformulate where my darks are. So then look, I would have darkness here, right? Until I get to the edge here. See what I did? Look what it starts looking like. Now we pull out that other friend of ours, the tortilla. If you have one. If you don't have one, it's okay. Still use your paper towel. Just crunch it up into a smaller idea so you can get into areas and do this type of idea. Now at the bottom of this white area here, you put a little bit of darkness right there. And does it feel like that's sliding into the nose now, everybody, or into that nasal cavity?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way that bone is in there. Because all the cartilage and everything that divides your nasal cavity comes off of that bone.
Okay.
You see? So when the skin is not there, it's just the bone that's rolling back into this area, into the cavity of the skull there, you see? And then now I come back and reestablish where some darks are, you see? And notice now, look, I can bring this and curve it. Because what happens is you feel right up underneath your nose, there's a dip right in here. And then that's when the bone starts to go right to where the tooth is, you see? It'll be a dip right there, and then it goes right to the bone. That's that area right before you get to your nasal cavity. That's going to be dark. So you see the way I did that in the front there?
Mm-hmm.
You just add those lines in. Now you come in with the tortillon, you smudge it a little bit. Smudge it a little bit, you see? Because it's going to curve up into where the nasal is. This is an important area. That's where your cleft is and all this good stuff, you know, that they talk about. Now this stuff rolls this way when it gets up there. You see the difference now?
Mm-hmm.
And notice we haven't used the eraser yet. Well, I haven't. Some of you may have used the eraser already. I don't know.
What you talking about?
You know? You see now, look, the darkness is there. Now I can come and start establishing where some of my darks would be to develop where the teeth would be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, some of you are probably saying, well, what about the light areas? Well, if I worry about the darks first, those light areas are going to come. Then I'm going to know where to erase. Like to show you guys, if I take my kneaded eraser, say if light is coming this way, I want the light to be right here. So I would erase right at the tooth there, you see? Look what I'm doing. And see how it lightens up?
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, I can come with my charcoal pencil and start making little lines on there that shows the imperfection of the teeth, you see?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say when doctors say you have to get braces, no, you don't. You don't have to get them. We get them out of designer, you know? Because other than that, think about what earlier man would have to do. They would either have to pound it out or just leave it there and let it do what it do.
Mm-hmm.
So look at that. I mean, yeah, there's some, you know, dental practices from back in the day, you know, else we wouldn't be able to get to where we're at now. I just don't want to belabor our conversation of drawing the skull that way.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You know, so come on, everybody. Look, we come in here, now you can develop the cheekbone, you see. Your problem is, everybody, you haven't done this before, so you're looking like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's okay. That's okay. As long as you take the suggestions of what it is that we're doing and then use your idea, like when you see a jack-o'-lantern during Halloween. Or when you go to your doctor's office and you see the skeletal in there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's another hole that's going to be right there, and it goes up right in here. You see? So right up underneath of that cheekbone in the back, there's a dark area there. That's where it's going, your jawbone is going up to meet that hinge. You see what happens when I did that, everybody? It just takes a little bit of darkness, that's it. Perfection is a lie, repetition is the truth, everybody. We're pretty much almost done. So if you're asking yourself, hey, Don, would you be done this already if you wasn't instructing it? Yes. You know what I mean? And every one that you do after that, you'll get a more and more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't worry about that perfectionist idea too early on. Like, look, now I can show where there's a little hole where everything goes in the back of your skull. I like showing that. Because that'll be the darkest area, right?
Mm-hmm.
See that right at the edge, what I did? That shows you going into the skull now. Now what happens is this movement is like a C movement in here. And about time it gets right here, it should start getting lighter. So notice how I carry that echo movement of that hole there that's in the skull. And I'm reverberating that back edge of the skull of that darkness that I did to make us believe the inside of the skull. You see? Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people don't think we have an inside of the skull like that. We don't know it until you get an operation or you watch the channels where they do the operations or till you bust your head open to the white meat, as they call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, what's that? That's the inside of your skull. Like, I didn't know that was there. Yeah, a lot of people don't know it's there, but that's what your cells and everything sits on. So you notice how that looks like it's going in even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now you would come back to the edge and you would formulate that edge with the darkness a little bit, you see? And that's not going to be a continuous dark line. You're just putting some of the dark lines just to show how it moves, you see? Yeah, I would make some of this a little bit darker. about halfway, you see. And the more and more you do that, like the top would be a little bit darker if the shadows is coming in from the outside. The top would be a little bit darker based upon the angle that we're using to say that that light is coming in, you see. So if you look at the screen, you can see that even more so. And it should feel like that. Look how I'm using the tortilla, the same motion, same movements to make us believe that idea that's there, you see. I can even smudge it a little bit more in here and then come back with my eraser to show this idea. Look how I'm using the kneaded eraser. So when you use the kneaded eraser, the best way to use it is you want to make a piece that's can fit into your hands, and then you can stretch it on itself, everybody, you see. They have these in the Dollar General and everything too, Miss Paulette. I've seen them there. Depends upon which one you go to. Yeah, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, they all got them.
What do you call it?
Say again?
Call it again, because you were using something with a T. I'm
writing.
Yeah, tortillion. There you go.
Call it.
Shading stump.
Shading stump?
Yep, that's another term that they're using.
Okay.
Tortillion would be what? Tortillin. Tortillion. Yeah, somewhere around there. Put it in the computer and a little paper clip will tell you how to spell it.
Okay.
But that's what it should be. Yeah, Tortillin, tortillion, something like that. It's an Italian term.
Okay, and this is all under the charcoal pencils?
No, when you go in the stores, you got to look for where they're going to be at, and then a lot of times that's where that'll be. The tortillions will be. Sometimes it may be other areas. So I don't want to say like I'm a expert on floor plans for stores, but you would have to look around a little bit, or look to see where the pencils and the drawing stuff is first. See if everything is there, because if you're in an office supply store, a lot of times they'll have pens and pencils together, and they'll separate certain things out like erasers and all this good stuff and put it in another aisle. So that's why I try not to say, yeah, this is the way it is. And when you go in the stores, they have their different systems on how they put together art supplies with business supplies and party supplies. These are all three things that commingle in the dollar stores and Dollar Generals and the Walmarts, the Kmarts, and these type of things like this, the offshoot art stores. Because if you go to Michael's, if you go to Dick Blick, if you go to Artisan and Crafters, AAA Art Supply, these are art supply stores that's in the area of the Delaware Valley, Philadelphia. If you're outside of these areas and you look for these type of stores, and you have them in your area, because you're going to have them in strip malls and everything else. So if you don't have no art stores in your area, everybody, I know that you have a Walmart.
Another city.
Say again?
Michael, that's in another city. But I can try Walmart though, because Walmart has a section of various sections of arts and crafts.
Once again, yes, and it depends upon what area you're going to at that point.
Right.
So if you go to a more suburban area, you might have a little bit more things in there in that location than you have in the city location.
Right. I was thinking about just going on Amazon and just.
Well, that's another way of doing it if you feel comfortable with having things being sent to your home. A lot of times people.
Yeah, I have stuff sent all the time.
Oh, okay. Well, just go on there and make it happen. Okay. You see, yeah. So then look, we go on the other side here. Now we darken in this area here, where the brow is on this side, to see where the darkness is on here. And you would go the opposite way, and then now it will be lighter towards the edge out here, you see? It'll be lighter in this area right in here, but it'll be darker right around here in the bottom here. That bone would be exposed, but that darkness would show you where the bridge of the nose is, or where what we calling the hood of the nose is, you see? Then now I come back in, I darken in the area near closest to the bridge, and now I start moving my way out in that same way that I just put everything in, you see? And then look what happens. it starts to feel like we're going into the skull in there, doesn't it, everybody?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the whole beauty of this now. Now look, I can come and just flare some of this up to show the roundness on how that comes out and above the brow there, you see? Because your brow is going to be right at the top of that. So that now what happens with your skull now is it comes down, right? Hits where the brow is and then goes out. So then now I can show you how this side here, that lump goes away and it's more smooth, you see? And then it rounds to the back of the head, you see? Yeah, everybody. You're gonna get some understanding, some basic understanding. Look, if we wanted to do a lobotomy or something, that line would come from around here now to divide the skull in half. You see, like so. You know, that's what they call the lobotomized brain. You know, you expose the brain and get it out of the head. They would cut a line, something like that. Just go to one of those medical channels and you can see when they're doing, you know, certain things, left lobe and right lobe surgery. And you want to have fun, they take the back of that skull cap off, boy. You'd be like, oh my God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is live on TV though. You couldn't get this back in the day, you know, but
No,
now, you know, 70s, 80s, we didn't see nothing like that on TV. Like, what in the world? This is a catastrophic situation. Oh, how can they do it? Right. Now it's normal. Hey, who's not doing this, man? We need to put more footage up, man. We get more eyes on our situation, you see?
Right.
So then look, everybody, you have other lines that's in there, like these depressions that are on the skull is a lot of times where tendons are. And where tendons connect the muscles to the skull.
Okay.
You see? So then, yeah, we have this bone here. That would be dark because it's going in and around where the ear orbit is, you see? You know, then look, there's a line that, because of the way the skull grows, you have these type of, you know, depressions and lines in the skull. If you can see that one I just did there. It's like it shows you how the skull expanded and was growing. So that's what those lines are for. This line is just to show you if you was to cut it. You know what I mean? That's all I did there. And now I would shave it even more, you see, to get that roundness in here even more. Because normally where those cracks are, that's where that soft spot for the skull is on the top of your head that everybody has. Doesn't matter who you are, everybody has that depression on the top. They call it God's cradle, I believe.
I think so.
Yep, and that's the spot that, you know, the soft spot where everybody tells you mold the child's head, you know, so you get that little round thing and they make the little beanie and everything else. That's that area right there. Because the skull is still soft, the brain is still, you know what I'm saying, exposed or you know, at risk of being damaged, you know, until the water builds up. So then now we get in here. Now I got this other little eraser. And now I can come in and you see how I'm doing with the eraser? Using those lines to formulate an idea of texture in there. You see that? And if you notice, it starts to make you feel like this doggone thing is moving. Because I'm making you feel the surface. You see the movement of this surface here. You see that? Notice how we moving around and we got to make all these movements feel like that, you see? So I use those lines, you see, and then I'll come back and I'll augment them. Yeah, you see? A little light line on the edge there. I'm using the dowel eraser now, the plastic one. And never wipe your hands with your eraser because you don't want the oils from your skin to get into the eraser. What you want to do is you want to use another piece of cloth to wipe it off, you see, or you can use your drawing board to erase on, or whatever surface you on, you see, or you can use like how I use sometimes. I'm gonna flip that up just to show you. You can use another piece of paper to erase on, to erase a clear area off on, but don't wipe it with your hands. You see, because if you wipe it with your hands, that's what's going to put the oil in there, and it's going to mix in, and it's going to make it feel real ugly and nasty, and you won't get good eraser marks, you see.
Mm-hmm.
So then now like this, like that'll be light around the edge right there, you see. You see what's happening. Then you can have like I got a brush that I use every now and then, but most soft hair brushes are good to use to get rid of the erasings that you may have in here. You see, see how it clears it out and it gets other things off. They have actual brush you can use with horse hairs in it. That's used for, you know, sketches and getting off that debris off the sketch. But use any soft hair brush, okay, everybody?
Got it.
How we doing, Miss Paulette? You okay? You looking concerned on your picture there I'm looking at.
Yeah.
It's okay. Long as it looks like a skull, that's all we worried about. Watch this. Look, let's put some shadows on the tabletop here. I will go from underneath here. Now I would make this darker right here. The darkest area I would make it would be right at the base here. That would be my darkest area. So notice how, Nadine, I'm taking the charcoal stick now and I'm putting in that darkness, right, that I'm talking about, you see? And even putting a little bit of that darkness here, right, underneath the chin here, so that it's off the ground. Now I can come back with the tortillon and smudge that out to the edge of where I'm saying the extent of the shadow would be. You see what happens when I did that? Look, you guys, you see?
Yeah.
See how what that shadow feels like up against that skin or up against the skull? Yeah. It makes it seem like the back of the skull is really resting on the jawbone. You see that? And then now, always remember the darkest area in the shadow is right next to the item that you're saying the shadow is being casted from. As you work your way away from the shadow, it gets lighter. And that's why I started out that way, everybody. Look at that. You see? And there you go. You have the idea of that there. Now I can, you know, scrub it out a little bit so then it seems like it's dissipating out. You know, light can't get to that area. So we play up that whole feeling, you see? Yeah. See how it starts to jump out? It starts to jump out even more. Now to make it jump out even more than that, this is where you come in and you can say where some of the light would be coming in as a curved area. You see where some of this would be in the front here that shows how the jaw is running round, you see? Round, round, like so, you see? And look what starts happening, ladies. You start getting that texture, that feeling. The shadows are everything. Look, the same way I said on the top is that same dark area that would be right in between here that shows that the bone is going into the jaw or into the bone, fused in, you see? So then now I can come down and show how, just by lightly just smudging, you see where the bone goes into the skull, the lower jaw. See, smudge, show where all that is. And does it start feeling like that on the screen? Yeah. You see it, Nadine? Is it starting to feel that way? Is it starting to feel like a skull and the texture of the skull? Because the skull, even though we want to say it's smooth, it's not smooth. A lot of people want to say their teeth are smooth. No, your teeth are not smooth. Your teeth have ridges on them. You know, some of us get them buffed out so we can have the, you know, the narcissistic, you know, how would you say, symmetrical, beautiful look. You know, so that's what's going on in there. You see, look, that's where that bone is right there, and it goes in. It's like a little depression. You can feel when you're washing your face or anything like that, you can feel that depression in that area right here. And look how I'm just adding a couple of darks with where I just smudged in. We have to show where that jawline is going, that gum line is going around those bottom teeth now, you see? In and around those light areas. So now I can come back in and lighten up one or two areas at the base of the teeth there in the front, because that's the way that light is going to hit. You see? Because the bottom jaw is going to be darker than the top jaw. And that also is dictating where the light source is coming from, you see? And if you notice, see how I got you to believe the texture in the teeth now? And you notice even if you play the camera back or play the video back, you'll notice I didn't do that many movements to erase that out of there. I got that small eraser, or you can take take your plastic eraser and cut a small piece off so you can get in there, or you can buy the dowel. These are the Stettler dowels with the Stettler eraser hand holders. Yeah, you can use that for that. That's what I use them for. And I don't put them in the holders. I just like to hold them in my hand. You see? Will the jawline, will the cheekbone throw a shadow onto the jaw? Yes, right in there. It may be a little bit of a reflective shadow, a bounce back shadow. You see, if you don't understand reflective shadows, you have bounce shadows that, how would you say, are light that's reflected back up onto the object based upon what it's around. Yep, these are all the things we can talk about. Like in here, I can make this darker because that's the inside of the mouth now, or the inside of the skull. So underneath this part right here, it can be dark. Right to the edge of the back of the tooth there. You see now, boom, now I can smudge that. So Ms. Paulette, are you still using the pencil, or did you want to transition to that watercolor idea, or you want to just stay with the pencil the way I got you? Say again?
I'm still using the pencil.
Okay, so let's just stay with the pencil with you today then. Let's not fuse the watercolor in there to make it difficult for you. Just do the pencil because it's going to get dirty. That's why I said just use the black. But look, you see what's starting to happen over here on the side? I got to darken in that shadow on the cheekbone just a little bit on the side here, so we know that we're flipping the side of the face here. And then now I come back and I erase out the light area that may be showing right on the top and the edge here of this eye orbit on the bottom. You see, as soon as I do that, look at the deal there. See how it starts to want to turn the corner a little bit now?
Yes.
Yeah. Watch, look, I come back. I don't like the scratchiness I did with the skull up there. So I'm going to smooth this out again just a little bit with my paper towel. You see, smooth it out just a little bit. You see, get it to move around the way I need it to move around to show this idea of the skull. Even in this area in here, I'm going to knock some of these down. So these will be good for underneath movements. This area here will be a little darker because it's going in. See, that's the turning round. Anytime you have something going darker a little bit, that means that it's turning either away from you or towards you. You see what's happening there? So then now I'm going to take my plastic eraser, this one here. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to erase out bigger areas now, like right here. That's where a lot of light would be, right there, you see, right on the edge of the forehead here. And then a little bit on that line that I'm saying that they would separate the skull there. Now look at the lines that I'm using with the eraser. I'm lightly just turning that back so it can feel like the skull is rolling back and away from you, see? Just by doing lines like this, it makes you believe that idea even more so. Because it makes you believe that is that the texture of the skull. Well, yeah, oh, shoot. Sorry about that, everybody. My foot hit the camera stand, so, got the wiggling. But we're still in the general area, so I'm good. Yeah, look at that skull. Don't be scared, Nadine. We don't want to put the Russian sign in the forehead. You can do things like that. I know where you was going, Nadine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put the Russian crane and the sickle and the hammer, you know what I mean? It's a lot of things you can do. You know, you can put an X and put the word war on the forehead and put an X through the skull was cracked open to prevent war.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not against what you were saying. It was just that, you know, shocking. Nadine said, yeah, let's get it, Don. Let's go to Ukraine. It's like, really, Nadine, you want to go? Yeah, let's go. Let's draw right now, Ukraine. But now, if you notice, everybody, now in the back here, I do a couple of small notations because even in your shadow areas, you're going to have some lights because the bone is either going to be cream or it's going to be bleached white. You see, I put that extra light at the bottom back here to say like how the light may be coming through one of the openings in the body there, in the skull there, you see. And it gives it some more drama. That's all it does. And now I come back in here with pencil again. Let's see here. Do I have my sharpener? I don't have my sharpener next to me this time. But what we're going to do is I'll use a razor blade. And what you want to do is you want to get a nice sharp point. And the reason why you want to get a nice sharp point on your pencil or on your charcoal pencil is because this is where you're going to make people believe detail, what I call surface quality, everybody. And what other artists call surface quality too. If you ask any other artist that's doing it right now, they'll tell you, oh, I got to make some movements to make you believe that the surface is really rough and it's really turning and moving. You see what I did in here? Just to show a couple. It's not to make a continuous line because that's not how the edges move in nature. They move based upon the positioning of, how would you say, the item that you're looking at and position of where you're at, you see. But this skull is always moving, you know what I mean? It's never really sitting still. Everything is always in perpetual motion. The darkness is in everything, you see.
Wait a minute. You got to repeat that. Everything is always in motion?
Perpetual motion, yes. You don't believe it?
I'm just saying. We got a skull that's not moving, but it's moving.
Well, it's your interpretation of the movement. So it's not really a skull. That's why you're not perfect. You can't make a skull. The only way you can make a skull is if we do what we call procreation, right?
Right.
There you go. So your drawing is not perfect because you drawing it here doesn't make me see the material of the skull. It just shows me where it is in position to you. Or it can show me where your emotions can be. That's all.
Got it.
Yeah, we make too much out of a lot of this stuff. That's why they say, you know, to talk about art, you got to excuse me. That's what people say a lot of times, other artists too as well. When talking about art, excuse me, because it can get kind of lunacy and kind of crazy. But if you really look at the realities of what's happening, then you really can enjoy what art has to offer to you. And what does art have to offer to you? The helping and the assistance of observing your surroundings to help you to really connect and communicate with others. You see? So then look in the back here. Because you have to think, why do we have public art? You see? Why do we have all these things around art? You know, trust funds and all this good stuff. Because it's important in the development of man. Gotta have expressive stuff, gotta have art. If you don't, how are we going to communicate and how are we going to, I would say, express ourselves in one another, which is nothing more than communicating once again too. You see, so then now we just put some of these lines in, everybody, you see, some of what we call these descriptive lines, as we call it, you see. Now, right here is going to be a little bit darker because this bone here is throwing a shadow on that part of the bone on the side of the head. You see? Yeah, there we go. And like so, you see? So then now I can come back with the tortillon again, and then just, how would you say, fade that down, fade it right down into the inside there. And that's generally what's happening. The cheekbones behind there. All of this area is going in. That's your temple, it's going in. You see, you notice once I did it, and once you do it, it starts to really take on that impression of moving. You can fool the human eye to think that the skull is there, and that's what you really want. You can fool your human audience to think that the skull is actually moving on your surface based upon the agitations of darks and lights from left to right. Ooh, that was deep. Watch out. Your contrast between dark and light, baby, you know. From left to right, top to bottom here, tells you a lot. You see? So then that's when you come in and you're at the end now, you just start coming in and putting in little movements here and there to help out the idea of what your skull is doing. Where is it at? Could I do more? Yeah, you can do lots more to this puppy here. You see? I'm putting in some of the darks that show the descriptive movement of the surface. You see, just like I said, that dip point, it's in the bottom jaw too as well. And then notice what I'm doing to get you to believe that movement. You see, once you understand that everything is spreading from the center motion, then you can fool the eye even more with knowing that stuff. Once you understand all of that, it makes it even more interesting with things that you can do, how you can fool the eye. You see that? How I develop the jawline in there, and I still can come back, smudge that, right? Because it goes all the way back to the back jaw, to the back tooth. See? And then now, since the jaw is coming forward, now we erase out the light areas in here. That would be in here on the bottom part, you see? Right in the front here, you see? And now it moves to the side of the head. That would be all darkness down there, you see? And now all these grooves and stuff on the skull itself is where, once again, the tendons are connecting to the skull so that you can have the muscles on your face move the way they move. Like the muscles, a lot of people don't understand that the muscles, all muscles are attached to the skull by tendons.
Yeah,
just know that. That's just the way it is. There's no way around that. That's the way the human mechanism is set up. You see? So what you guys thinking? Let's see your skulls. I don't have to go too much more forward. This is just there. Let's see. Way to go, Miss Paulette. Way to go. Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. It's still a skull. It's still a skull. It's still a human skull. Yours don't look like an adult, though. It looks like a little younger guy. And it may be a mutant of some sorts with a human being. But it's okay. Yeah. You still got it, though. You still got it. Imagine how many that you'll do and you'll get it even more. You see? Just keep looking. Way to go, Nadine.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's
all right. Yeah, you got the spotlight feel that we was going for. Yeah. Way to go. Way to go, Nadine. Way to go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wonder how many other people got the idea and was working on it while we was working on it. What was our young lady's name again?
Cindy.
Cindy, if you're still out there listening, I didn't mean to jump all over you like that. Please don't think I did. But I'm just an advocate of somebody just taking and seizing the moment. All right. So Cindy, if you did do one like how I suggested, me and Nadine, I'm throwing Nadine in here too with me so I don't get thrown on the bus. But Cindy, if you did one like we suggested, would love to see your rendition of the skull. And please don't feel as if, oh, my skull is not perfect. No, remember, perfection is a lie. Repetition is the truth. You guys don't do drawings like this every day. Don't put that type of pressure on yourself. have fun in the journey of trying to acquire these movements in your everyday hand and eye suggestions, you see?
Yes, and Juan, of course. Wonderful Juan was waving to say hi to us.
What's up, Juan?
Much
yeah,
appreciated.
What's going on, Juan? You see the deal, Juan. We try to show everybody how to use tonality and how to just have a moment where you can just let it out like a fart and do a drawing, man, and not be, it's too stressful. I mean, Juan and I, we talk about that a lot. So he'll call me every now and then, you know what I mean? And we'll talk about different dilemmas like that, ideas of perfection and does it really exist and all this good stuff. How do you fool the eye to think something is there through tonality and repetition of stroke and all these different things. So yeah, to the general public, it can sound like we're talking science, but we're really not. We're talking about the movement of the surface of your skull or any other surface that you're looking at. How to describe texture in a two-dimensional idea. I think about like how you said earlier, Nadine, you threw a little hook at me. Like, hey, Don, this is a skull that I'm doing here, you know what I mean? Well, this is my skull, that's what I'm saying. Is it real or is it not? No, it's not real, but it's an interpretation. And when you bring this interpretation, you're really trying to show us how the environment works around it. Like every drawing you do, even the ones that you do for product design and stuff like this, the aim is to have something feel three-dimensional on a two-dimensional plane. It's flat. It just has length and width.
Right.
So it's no way it can mount up. That's why sculpting is an elite thing to do too as well. Because you're pushing past the idea of the flat to go to the third dimension. So we're giving you a perception of the third. And we're giving you a perception of movement based upon mark and the accumulation of mark. You see, so that's why I say that also too as well, where perfection is allowed. Repetition.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and it's always going to be that way. It's always that way, no matter what. So then look, let's look at it some more. The cheekbone would be here. Would there be a lot of light on these back three teeth? Not a lot, but it'll be more so reflected from the bottom now, you see? Like so. And now you can really feel like that jaw and everything is moving the way that it's moving. And this is just from just manipulating darks and lights, everybody. Could it get more descriptive than this? Yes, it can. If I took more time, slowed my motion down, and really concentrated on what the surface of the skull is doing, how is it moving, and then I would make all my movements move in that way. Even the erasure for the highlights would move that way, you see? The more and more you do it, like, look, I didn't put nothing on the tabletop, but I can put a little bit of light movement here, you know what I mean, to say where the light is, to say where the light is hitting, you know what I mean? That's all. I don't have to do a whole bunch down there. Have some fun with it, just like so. Let me see. Put a little line here, Put a little line here. There you have it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sign mines right here, everybody, because it's 11:50.
11:50.
Yes, I'm gonna sign right here. DSTEPHENS /. You see? So yeah, that's where it's gonna look backwards now, everybody. So kind of got me angry right now. I don't like that, but we'll correct that later. Right now, we got you to see what it's looking like, right, everybody?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there you have it, everybody. Our drawing today, the skull.
The skull.
What you want to call this one, Nadine? You call it. You name this one, this session.
I'm gonna name this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did.
Eye on You was last week.
Eye on You was last one.
Yeah. Helter Skelter. I don't know. No, not Helter Skelter.
No.
Them bones.
Headbone. Headbone.
Yeah, headbone.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Headbone.
Miss Paulette likes that one. We're gonna go with that one. Headbone.
Headbone. Headbone. Headbone. Headbone. You got it.
There you
Headbone.
go. What'd you say, Miss Paulette?
like a head bone connected to the neck bone. Remember that? You know.
Yeah, head bone connected to the neck bone,
neck bone connected to the
chest bone, and the chest bone connected to the So there we got it. We got it, Nadine. So how you feel, Miss Paulette? Did you like this one? Did you have fun trying to do your own skull?
Well, I was gonna go to Amazon to look for some of these charcoal things, these different pencils.
All right, you don't have to go to Amazon. You can go to the actual stores. What I would say is you can go to Jerry's Autorama.
Oh, we don't have that here. We only one we have here, like I said, is Michael's.
If you're going online to order, go to Jerry's Autorama.
Jerry.
Autorama.
Autorama.
Yes.
Okay, I got
You're gonna get a lot of cheap deals there, and they will send it to you in the mail too as well.
Okay. All
okay,
right.
you can go to dickblick.com.
Okay. Okay, so
you don't have to.
I just want to know, like, I'm ordering pencils, so it would probably be the pick, like all the names of the pencils that I'm looking for.
Miss Paulette, when you go to the website, you're going to see that they're going to ask you for different positions. They're going to say to you, what are you looking for? And they're going to have different categories for you to see that. There you go. If you look at the screen, Nadine hooked us up so you can see Jerry's Autorama there. You see? And if you see the scroll bar up top, they have brushes and tools, easels and furniture, framing and mats and boards, drawing supplies. Press that one, Nadine. You see, and then all the drawing supplies come up: pens, markers, colored pencils, sets and pencils, drawing tools and boards, charcoal and graphite. You see on the left side scroll?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all on that website. And then the stuff that Nadine is pointing to. They have all the stuff there for you to look at. Now, if you look at some of the prices, you look, items reduced 42 to 86% off, 70% off, 300 items reduced.
Right. Okay.
So ordering online from companies like this, you get a better deal. If you look at the charcoal and graphite up there in the corner, Nadine, you see that next to the drawing tools and boards?
Which one? Charcoal?
The charcoal and graphite on the right side of the screen.
Is that it?
Well, yeah. You pressed the whole thing to take us there, but it was showing the soft pastels and everything. But those are the charcoal pencils, you see? The which pencil was there.
And that one that you was talking about.
There it is. Yeah, the one that I was talking about is in this section. You just go pick and peel. That's what it's named. Pick and peel, sketch pencil. So you would do better off going to this site and looking around. Okay.
Okay, and then the
Jerry's Autorama is right there on the screen. You see it on the top there of the screen?
The other pencil that's called a Tortino pencil, whatever.
That's not a pencil. That's a tortilla. That's a shading stump, Miss Paulette. You're starting to confuse yourself. Slow down.
Okay, hold on.
That's a tortillion. Don't see you going. Oh God.
Here you go.
Okay.
All you have to do is just go there and just look. Just take the time and just look. Nothing's going to be just right in front of your face.
Okay.
So you got to understand that. So then, thanks Nadine for showing, but trust, just go to the site.
You're right.
Okay.
And then look around yourself. Just take your time. It's not hard.
Okay, so the thing, because I didn't know what a tortillion was 6 months ago. The tortillion.
I told you what it was. It's a piece of paper balled up with glue on it that looks like a pencil.
See it?
But it's not a pencil. It comes in various sizes.
Do you see it, Miss Paulette?
See it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Miss Paulette, it's not. This is what everybody does as human beings. Y'all want stuff to jump out to you. This is where you got to take the adventure. Okay, this is where you got to take the risk and go outside of what you're normally used to doing.
Okay, and the other one is.
You don't have to show no more. It's enough. She knows where to go. You got to go there. You look around. Everything is there. If you look up at the top of the look, stop for a second, Nadine, please. Stop. Look at the top there. All you got to do is just press drawing supplies, and when you go look through, it's going to be there.
Okay. Well,
there you are. And that's how you go look for the supplies. You don't have to go to Amazon for everything. You can, because Amazon, sometimes the prices are not going to be, how would you say, nice. As like how Jerry's Autorama be, like how ordering offline from any one of these art stores, you get more ordering directly from the art store as a deal than going through Amazon as a third party to go ahead on and get those art supplies. That's all Amazon is doing. They're getting it from these art suppliers and then reselling it to you at another price.
Oh, okay. Always glad to learn something new. So I mean,
so just take your time. You put the names in the Google search like how you've been doing, and then you just go ahead on and explore. It's not going to be right in your face. That's why a lot of times I don't show things like that, because I don't want you to think that it's going to just pop out right there for you. And you don't have to, how would you say, control your mechanisms of wanting to be perfect at that point. Because that's when your right and wrong starts kicking in as an elder or a retiree, and then you'll say, oh, forget it, let me just, and you'll turn it off. I'm saying, no, this is where you explore. Look around, you may find other things.
Right. Well, I like to be prepared for these classes. Like I said, some Sundays
you don't have to stretch yourself. You just have to buy these basic things. Once again, this is all about you having what you have around you, first and foremost. Now, once you start wanting to buy supplies, it's based upon your personal economics.
Right.
So that's why I have you going to the different stores, like the differences between a Dollar General, a Walmart, Target, and an actual art store. Because you have more places that you can go to see and get these art supplies. Don't think that just because it says art that you have to get this special type of material because it's just for art. No, these materials are all around you. So
I want to have stuff somewhere, because like I said, some Sundays I might be working.
All right. I'm just going to let you do what you do then. You know what I mean? Worry yourself to death. It's okay. Just know that you don't have to have the highfalutin. You don't have to spend $100 to $200 to $300 on it. Just know that what you have is to suffice, and we'll keep on going how we go forward at this point. Okay?
Right.
It's all based upon your own economics. So, have fun. And that's for anybody else that's trying to get supplies. Sometimes you guys make this stuff too complicated for yourself and not realizing the similarities and materials around you. But you know what I mean? That's everybody's journey and creative journey there. So have a ball trying to figure it out. And then, you'll see the differences that we all see here too as well. All right. So keep creating, everybody. I think that's about it. It is 12 o'clock. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. So there was a couple of wonderful suggestions. The one was the Jerry's Autorama. Check it out, especially for those that may have some concerns, financial concerns.
It's hard to be quiet. I'm sorry to cut your flow there, Nadine. Art supplies are everywhere, everybody. It's not just in these specialized stores. Start getting out and look around you. Your corner store, the bodega, may have art supplies in it, unpronounced to you. Well, because you're not looking, you won't see it. So don't think just because I said Jerry's Autorama that, hey, that we don't have sponsorship yet. So I'm saying all art stores, you see what I'm saying, in your area, go online, put in art stores and put your zip code in. And what that's going to do is that's going to show you all the art stores or art suppliers in your general area around your zip code.
Yeah. Well, we're very supposed to have Michael's, and Michael's is in another city here because,
Where are you at, Miss Paulette?
Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay, so then you have the strip mall situation down there.
Yep.
malls, yeah. Malls.
Yeah, that's the way it's done down there. So you're gonna have a Home Depot, Lowe's. You may have a movie theater all together with the Michaels, and it may have a Joanne Fabrics or something in there.
No Michaels.
Yeah, we have. She's also in another city.
No, it's no AC Moore. There's Michaels. There's no AC Moore.
Yeah, see, those places are like when you going to look for stuff like that, you going like on a tour. I mean, you're gonna leave the city to go to places like that.
That's the same thing you have to do up here. You have to go to the location where these items are going to be. Unfortunately, they may not be in your vicinity. They may not be in your township or your local area. So you're going to have to do trips like that, or you're going to have to order offline. That's just the way it is.
Exactly. So you want to like not have to go.
No, you want to go. See, that's the thing. You're going to say you don't want to have to go. No, I'm saying that's why you go. That's part of the journey. That's part of your creative journey. That's going to get you outside of thinking that the way that you're thinking, to get you upward and moving as being a retiree.
No, I'm not a retiree. I'm still working.
You're still working?
I'm still working.
Well, as an older adult, what I feel like Don is trying to say is putting on your observant mind set. And when you're out and about, just think about what could be used to create art where you are. You might go into a store and they're going to have some stuff and you're like, wow, I didn't know this store had coloring pencils. Right. I didn't know this store, but you wouldn't. Some people go in the store and they're like, I just need toilet paper. And they go and they just get, and you just go in there and get toilet paper. But when you go in the store and you say, I wonder what's in this store, and you walk down all the aisles, you'll be amazed at what you find. And so I feel as though that's what Don is trying to impress you to think about it when you go out.
It's just a suggestion. It's just a suggestion, like salt. If you choose to do it, you'll see the advantages of doing it. If you choose not to, then that's okay.
And you know what? I think I would like to put a challenge out to our group to find the craziest locations where they sell art.
I'm gonna tell you where you're gonna find it all at, no matter where you're at. You got hardware stores, you got mom and pop hardware stores, you got office supply stores, you got party chain stores. You see, no matter what area you're in, you got stores that cater to the, how would you say, relaxing part of life. Anything that has party or business supplies on it, art supplies are right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to all stores and look.
And look for art supplies. That's right.
Well, I'm telling you where they're there. You can go to Office Max. I know you have that out there, or Staples out there somewhere. I know you have a mom and pop, how would you say, store where they buy convenience goods. Mm-hmm. You have also those gas and go spots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
stores with the gas and goes. So when you're going to get gas, go in the store, look in the back
and go,
look and see if they have some pencils or something in there. They may have markers.
Go into stores and look for art.
Yeah, because a lot of times when on those side little gas stations and stuff, they'll have small little pads and stuff because they know people are traveling.
Right. So and they got kids in the car and they want to keep them busy. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then just look around, everybody. Just look around.
Yes, and you know what? If you find something and you're surprised, take a photo of it and share it with the group. That's what I want to see. Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun little thing. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to walk around, and when I go into a store, I'm going to say, "Are there art supplies in this store?" And now I'm going to go take a picture.
Well, I wouldn't ask them. I wouldn't ask them.
No, I would just go.
They're not going to listen. Yeah. They're not going to know what they have in the store a lot of times.
Right. No, I was talking about ask myself that. Do they have art supplies in this store? And then go in there and just look and have fun, because it's about the exploration. We want you exploring. Yeah. Exploring. My goodness, this was fun, Don.
Yes, it was.
This was a lot of fun. I got the head bone on my brain, but I got the head bone on my brain. All right, everybody, let's clap it up. This was wonderful. Okay, pay attention to the announcements for the events coming up. We're going to have some nice, special, wonderful things happening, especially as spring is sprung. Okay, and so pay attention. We want to see your drawings. Miss Paulette, be brave, be bold, post your head bone on.
Everybody, if you look at the other screen real quick, I'll give you a date where we're going to be having a show with some of the art classes and the participants in my other art classes. I will be showing this stuff live, so hopefully we'll be able to put it on our page and stream it live too from there next week, Sunday. Okay. So March 13th, 11 to 4 p.m. Now hold on, let me see. I believe the address is 2646 Kensington Avenue.
Did you say you're streaming it or no?
I'm gonna try to do it from there when I get there. Okay. Kensington Avenue, okay? Mm-hmm. It's the Kensington, it's called the Kensington Storefront. Okay. Okay, everybody out there? Okay. And these participants is just like some of you guys are, your first time doing a drawing, your first time even taking art classes. And this is truly the retiree bunch. And we have a couple of people there, like how yourself is, Miss Paulette, that works a night gig and everything else. And you can come by, well, you're in Virginia, so you won't be able, but look out for me next Sunday. Either it's going to be on our page, Nadine, I may do it there, or I may do it on my page. But Miss Paulette, I will be, how would you say, trying to stream that live, because I think it's important to see how these individuals that never had an art class, some of them, and now all of a sudden you can see their confidence, see the power of the arts and what the arts can do to a person's confidence. Right. At the 50 and over crowd and the retiree crowd. So yes.
Wow. That
picture.
Say again?
You just posted your picture? Well done, Miss Paulette. Well done.
Yeah. I think I know how to do it.
Just think about it. You too, definitely if you can tune in for the event that's coming up. We're going to try to make sure you that those that are not geographically in Philadelphia can enjoy what these older adults, folks just like us, are exploring. Like, it's never too late. You're not too old. There's always something you can give and create. We all can create. And we do create every day.
You have no choice. You're human.
We're human, and I'm just excited. I can't wait to go. I'll have to go early on because I have to work later. So I'm looking forward to it. I think this is beautiful, Don. Don, you just do wonderful work in the community, and I'm glad to be able to contribute with you here on Let's Paint and Draw Along. This was a wonderful session. Thank you, Miss Paulette. Thank you for all those watching in the rebroadcast.
You forgot the other young lady that came
Miss Cindy, thank you for coming in. We hope to see you again. And thank you for all of those that wave at us on the Facebook chat. That really helps us. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Don. You are awesome with your suggestions.
I'm waiting for the part.
Yes. But most of all, what is so important is that we don't forget that we must keep creating. Clap it up, everybody. Keep creating. Gotta keep creating. Thank you so much. Yes.